Hello everyone, in honor of Yom Haatzmaut, I thought it would be appropriate to share with you what I like about davening on Yom Haatzmaut, what I dislike, and what I would like to see. Yeshayahu Hanavi says, Safta legoy Hashem, yasafta legoy nichbadeta. You have exalted your nation, Hashem. You have exalted the nation by whom you're honored. How is it God exalted by the nation? Explains the Medrash. Ovdei Elilim, imatar ma'brelahem yamim tovim. The idol worshippers. If you add holidays to them, they just eat and drink and do things they shouldn't be doing and get you very angry. Aval Yisrael, but the Jewish people, when you add Yomim Tovim to them, such as Yom Haatzmaut, what do? Ochlim v'shotim v'smechim. Not eat and drink and pochazim, do things wrong, but rather eat and drink and are very happy. And nichnasim lebatei knisiyot ulematei midrashot umarbin vitfilot. They go into shuls and they add to their davening. So yes, we should add to our davening. What I like is Hallel with a bracha during the day. It's a difference of opinion, so see mine amongst many. In a word, if you say it on Hanukkah, you should say it on Yom Haatzmaut. I believe it's an open Gemara in Masechet Pesachim, Daf Kuf Yud Zayin, Amud Aleph, talking about Hallel, Chaknu Lahem Yisrael. The rabbis made an enactment for Shiyu Omrimoto. You should say Hallel. Al Kol Perek V'Kere Perek, V'Al Kol Tzara V'Tzara Shelo Tavo Aleihem. Every single time something unique happens, be it a Perek, such as a happy event, or a Tzara, a very terrible event. Nigalin, when you get out of that terrible event, you say Hallel on your redemption. Now you may say, what the state is not perfect. You may say we still have problems in Israel, and it's an understatement to agree with that. However, if you look at the context of that Gemara tries to see who was the first to say Hallel. And in each and every case, it was never, I repeat, never a perfect redemption. Moshe Yisrael Amaruhu B'Sha'asha Amad Al Hayam. They were standing at the Sea of Reeds, Egyptians behind them, sea in front of them, totally trapped. Hey Mamru, they said, Lolanu Hashem Lolanu, Ki L'Shimcha Ten Kavod, Achastecha V'Hamitecha. God save us not for us, but for your holy name. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, Yehoshua Yisrael Amaruhu B'Sha'asha Amdu Aleihem Malchei Kenan. When Malchei Kenan stood and wanted to destroy them, that's when they said it. Same passage, Lolanu. Rabbi Lazar Modai Amra, Devoro Barak Amaruhu B'Sha'asha Amad Aleihem Sisra. When Vara and Barak fought against Sisra in the fourth parak of Shoftim, that's when they said it. And the Gemara goes on with many other examples of dire straits that the Jewish people were in, that if and when they were saved and problems were far from over, they said Hallel. From this perspective, if the Jewish people could say Hallel then all the more so today, in a state with the Jewish army that has done wonders in the last 2.5 years, ever since that tragic day of October 7th. No, things are not perfect, but yes, Hallel is very appropriate, just like we say, Hodu la Hashem Kitov. We give thanks to God, saying, Zeh hayom asa Hashem, this is the day, God, that you gave us, Nagila v'nismach haba, we should be happy. It's the same Hallel that also asks God, Mina meitza karatiya anani b'merchav ya, I call out to you from dire straits, Ana Hashem Moshiana, God save me. So I believe Hallel with a bracha during the day should be said. I don't like the tefillah chagigit, quote unquote, at night. It's a conglomeration of Kabalat Shabbat, of Na'ila. In a word, it's a Chulent that's not very tasty. Including saying along Pesukei Zimra. The only time we do that on a Yom Chol, on a weekday, is Hoshana Rabbah. Hoshana Rabbah has Kedusha, sanctity of the day, because it is part of Chol HaMoed Sukkos. So we should treat it like Hanukkah. Hallel, yes, all the rest, not.
To top it all off is a Haftorah without a Beracha during the day. Mima nafshach, if you're supposed to say a Haftorah, say it with a Beracha. And if you're not supposed to say it, what do you indicate to the people when you say it without a Beracha? You indicate in a very nice way, you don't have to say it.
Haftorahs are read only on Shabbos, Yom Tov, and fast days. The Gemara explicitly deals with a Haftorah. And Rosh Chodesh comes out on Shabbos. In Shabbos, Daf Kaf Daled, Amud Aleph into Amud Bet, the Amar Rav Gidel Amar Rav, Am Rosh Chodesh Chaliot b'Shabbos, Am Haftir ben Avitzar b'Shabbat, Ein no tzarich la'askir shel Rosh Chodesh, Imalei Shabbat, Ein Navi b'Rosh Chodesh. When we read that special Haftorah for Shabbos Rosh Chodesh, we acknowledge it's Rosh Chodesh, but due respect, we only say in the Beracha afterwards, Baruch atah Hashem mekadesh Shabbat, blessed be you God, who has sanctified Shabbos, because the Haftorah is coming because it's Shabbos, not because it's Rosh Chodesh. That is the halacha that's paskent in Shulchan Aruch, though there is an opinion that says in the middle of the bracha mention that it is Rosh Chodesh. The clear halacha is Imcha Rosh Chodesh b'Shabbos, Ein Maftir Maskir Shel Rosh Chodesh Klal. So therefore, I don't understand this Haftorah of Yom Haatzmaut. And though I say Hallel with a bracha during the day, I especially don't like the shuls that say Hallel at night.
Hallel at night is said once a year, and that's on the nights of the Seder.
We always say Hallel during the day. It's a Mishnah and Megillah, Kol Hayom Kasher, to different things, and one of them is Lekriyat Hallel. And the only time we say Hallel at night is the night of Pesach. And indeed, Rashi says explicitly in Masechet Pesachim, Ve'ein lecha leilei chag lahatin shira, chutz mileilei Pesachim al achilato. According to Rashi, the only time you say it at night is the Seder night, and because you're eating the Korban Pesach. As it says in the Sechet Sochfrim, that 18 days, Yamim Shmona Asar, in one night, Laila Echad, Yachid Gomer Bahen et Hallel.
And because it's a Chiddush, in general in Halacha, we don't take a novelty and apply it to other places. And even though Rav Goren, Zecher Tzadik Levracha, said it, he's a minority view and remains so. Ashkenazic shuls never, throughout the year, do anything without a bracha. Namely, we say Hallel with a bracha all year.
And on Rosh Chodesh, where it's only a minhag, we say a bracha.
All of a sudden, on the night of Yom Haatzmaut, to say Hallel without a bracha indicates that it's really not supposed to be said.
What would I like to see? I would like to see a laning on Yom Haatzmaut. Even if it comes out on a Wednesday, I'd like to see 3 aliyahs, as we do on other weekday holidays that don't have Kedushat Hayom, such as Purim and Hanukkah. Purim, in which there's a Megillah that says the whole story, we still learn from the Torah. Hanukkah, in which the events of Hanukkah didn't happen at the time that the 5 books of Moses were written, we still found an appropriate portion. You cannot go through a day that talks about one of the most common phrases in the Torah, Eretz Yisrael, and not read from the Torah that talks about it. You may say that Chazal didn't tell us to read, so how can we read with brachos? Well, indeed, Chazal were not around when Yom Haatzmaut happened in 1948, but we have a precedent of such a thing. Chazal weren't around when the minhagim of Simchas Torah started to develop, and yet, when they started to develop, the Ramah says, Uvalayla, Korim b'Sefer Torah, Hanidarim Shabbat Torah, Kol Makom Lefi Minago, you lane at night. We never lane at night, but all of a sudden, Simchas Torah at night, we do lane. The Jewish people felt you can't take out the Torahs and dance with them, and not lane from them. Thank God we're very aware of God's redemptions to the Jewish people, and we have to respond. And the most halachically normative way to respond is to have a laning on Yom Haatzmaut.
Hope everyone honors the day with proper thanks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for this wonderful miracle called the State of Israel. May we be zoche, not just for this geula, but for the geula shalema, the full redemption speedily in our days. Wishing everyone a Chag Atzmaut Sameach.